Should be what, 3 days I think till this split ends. Um, like I said, excited for the gun changes. I think a new squads mode, which is cool. Be interesting to see what it's like to play Apex as 4 instead of 3, because 4 has been since the game's release. I'm also interested to see what comps will be like with 4 players. I also think it'll be a lot more chaotic in a lot of ways, but I think it'll also be really fun. So I'm excited to try that. We got some, yeah, patch notes coming up here. So let's take a look at what we got. We got some time for game 2 here because they wouldn't be going over this. So here's what I was talking about. G7 Scout. So damage and rate of fire increased. As I said, right now compared to the other mid-range weapons, it's really lacking. So I think this is going to bring it a lot more into like meta. A lot more people be using it because right now it's kind of just, if you've used it recently, it just feels awkward. I mean, like the tempo of firing is weird. Um, I mean, Apex is a game where movement is quite quick. So if you're at a long distance, but you have like a small area in which someone's running through, you're only going to get like 3 shots off. Even if you land all headshots, it's not really going to be like kill. Maybe pushable, but I mean, at range, that's pretty difficult. So it's kind of just like an awkward position. It doesn't really exist in any realm. Like if you're looking for real distance, the Sentinel or Longbow works better. If you're looking for mid range, any AR works better right now. So hopefully these changes kind of bring it up to speed with the other weapons. Havoc, I think this is a step in the right direction. Obviously, Havoc dominates right now. It's the best gun in the game by far. Mid and close, it has the lowest time to kill. So I mean, like if I'm running R9, you're running Havoc, we start shooting at the exact same time. You win the fight every single time. R9 reduced hip fire randomness. Again, step in the right direction, but right now R9 kind of just feels weak in my opinion. Having most ARs as a secondary is actually better, even though typically people align those with mid range. I mean, with the base mag size being 17 for R99, it's even less than R301. And your damage output is so similar. I mean, it just really doesn't make sense. I'd rather have a hip fire flatline than an R99 in most cases, to be honest. So they need to figure that out. Maybe this will help more than I think it does, but I'll have to play with it and see. I don't think this will quite bring it back into meta, but again, we will see in a couple days here. Quads, 15 teams of 4. That's pretty cool. Uh, really, really cool that you can play a squad with 4 characters. I mean, I think again the team comps running will be very interesting. I kind of want to try just 4 movement comps and just be like fighting as fast as possible, running all over the place. That sounds really fun to me. Obviously, this at the moment is not going to be a competitive game mode, so you can kind of just run around and pub stomp, I think. It'll be also exciting to try 1v4s because obviously you can hit 1v3s when you're in trios, but yeah, no 1v4s in quads or in trios. So quads kind of opens up those cool play potentials. Um, Loot improvements. I think this is specific to quads, which makes sense because obviously you're going to be competing for more loot, and so if you're running quad heavy ammo, you're going to be totally fucked if they didn't buff that. So this change makes sense just for the quads game mode. Um, and yeah, more bats, stuff like that. So this is good. I like this. Map rotation for pubs is changing to Moon, Canyon, Olympus. Good. Ranked is Moon, Olympus, World's Edge. World's Edge is bad. They need to take this out of ranked rotation, in my opinion. It's been there too long. People are too comfortable on it. It's not a bad map. It's just, I think, for competitive gaming, you should always be forced to adjust and like be adaptable. And I think part of what makes you a really good competitive player is your ability to be adaptable at all times. So I think keeping one map in rotation too long is bad for competition, but that's just my personal opinion. Rotations and end rings. Big one here is this end ring um, change. More even distribution. So right now, if you've been playing, you'll notice like a high amount of like north zones or south zones kind of thing. Like it doesn't really feel like you have a 25% chance of having to rotate to any quadrant of the map. So now they're making a big adjustment to do that. I'm not exactly sure what the percentage was before, but I think that'll be a very, very healthy change. And it also gives more even chances in competitive play, because if you have a north team but they get unlucky and have 3 south zone pulls, obviously it's going to be a lot harder for them to get points than the south teams. So really hope that evens it out, and I think that'll be really healthy for ALGS. Let's take a quick look at this zone. So it's not quite a checkpoint zone. It's not quite a cascade zone. I think it's going to end kind of somewhere in between. I could be wrong on that, but you already have like Temper, Complexity, and Empire establishing. LG is probably going to walk in here and take Cascade. That's really interesting. Empire is fighting. They might be fighting Complexity here, but they also might just be taking space back now. Yeah, shots down. No deaths so far. But wow, yeah, look, Flat is filling in this area too. This is becoming a cluster quite quickly. I'm going to hop back on the main broadcast. I want to see this fight. I want to see how Empire maneuvers. 0 points in game 1 for Empire. So they really need to make something work here. But they can't commit too hard. Those building teams are still in a punishable distance. And if they run under and zip up, it's pretty safe from the other building teams. So Empire does need to be a little careful here. They need to take their space, but not fully commit too hard to anything. They do get the drop, so they'll be getting looted up, and we can change perspective here. Guild is going to be farming some spiders. We have Madness and Furia posted up in a building already. What part of the map are we on here? He's getting shot off now, so someone's walking up behind on Furia here. They might not have a choice but to either fight or leave here. I don't think they'll be able to sit here super long if this team decides to actually pressure them, but maybe they'll prioritize rotating. Now let's see, yes. So I hope he checks maps so I can pause again here. Yes, perfect. Okay, so let's take a look. So one team behind them, not really looking to fight that team. So they have kind of an open entrance on this, like, they head north, kind of coming from the east side for this next zone, where they won't have a lot of pressure. If they can take one of these buildings, they're probably going to be guaranteed like a top 12. You have this giant like windmill here. You have some rocks between these buildings and here. So I actually think this is probably Furia's like best rotation at the moment. Oh, they did get to windmill buildings. So these are the buildings I was saying they should play, but they actually were able to get more central uncontested. That's really cool. That's really good for Furia. One thing to note about the building they are playing is there are holes in that roof, and you can get beamed through those holes. So in this building, you have to be very careful. If you're holding a door and someone takes your roof, you are like gonna get backshot 100%, and not in the fun way. So they probably will try and play that roof as much as they can. Or, yeah, okay, they're gonna craft and then probably play the roof of that building. Now, hop on board with Disguised. It looks like we're already down a player. Designful has fallen, and they are in the zone.
Just fucking boost it to
and
north pad. Run to enemy. Fuck it. Take
they
the car.
did take the 3v3 north pad, it
Yeah,
looks
you have to
like,
take the car, enemy.
and just getting traded. Enemy only has 32 damage, so maybe he wasn't in a really good place when they took that fight.
You might have to pick him up too.
So that's really not ideal.
We're gonna player scan him.
But his body is over
You can grab the van and
here. Maybe he was on a solo mission. Kind of hard to say what happened without looking, but it looks like enemy was not really in a position to help out Designful when he fought, because only 32 damage doesn't really indicate that they were able to take like an actual 3v3. I think they're also not going to be in a great spot. Doesn't look like they have a ton of meds. If I was enemy, I would have waited a little longer on that med kit. You can rip it now and still get it off. But, I mean, especially when you don't have many meds and you're sitting in zone, you want to use them as efficiently as possible. But hopefully these boys can reset. Designful is going to respawn and have his box, but I don't know if his box has been looted. Hopefully not for his sake. Now we have Guild scanning next zone.
Interesting.
Let's see what the pull is. Ah, I was right. So I said it's not quite a station, not quite cascade, not quite checkpoint, somewhere in the middle, and it's going to be a dead straight pull.
Okay. Can anyone take that from us? No. We need to get to the building in front of us. That's like
We have an evac. We have 3 evacs.
Yes. Come.
Yes, really good call from Timmy. So really heads up call from Timmy there to call. This is the best time to use evacs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, they're nice late game too, but if you have 3 and you know there's a building not being played with player scan and a team that doesn't look like it's about to take it, like you have to send it. Especially at this point in the game when you have like 10 to 12 teams already established in that zone. If there's a free building, you got to rip it right away. So really good for them for recognizing that. And let's see if they get challenged on flight here.
If it's like skits, we can slam the small building next to it. It's not great, but we can.
They can also land on the wheel, don't
There's a
forget.
pocket right here.
But wow, they will take the building.
Alright, I'm scanning.
So that was Furia here early, right? So Furia has given up that building. And now they might be fighting Furia here.
Nice.
Let's hop on board with Guild.
Alright, good.
And they will give the roof and just establish inside. Perfectly fine. They don't want to take any risks. And they now guarantee themselves in the zone for the next 4 minutes. So this is really, really good by them. Gave themselves lots of playtime here. And probably like a top 12. They're going to look for shots through the windows. I don't think they'll get too much. But if they can get like 1 or 2 random KP on a team rotating, that would be really nice for them. Nothing on scan for snipe down here. So the boys on TSM, what year is it? On native will be in a decent spot. They're still 300 from purple. So really not great armor here from native. I think they actually need to get a little more active. They don't want to take a full 3v3 until they have that purple.
Team coming up through this choke.
They're going to have to find something here, and maybe they will with this team coming through the choke. They might actually be able to punish. I wonder if that is disguised coming through that choke. Where is my disguised POV? It is not disguised, so disguised will be chilling for now. Gonna mute Snipe down there. Hambino and boys still alive. Still 19 squads, man. This is going to get pretty crazy. Verhulst and TSM now just coming into zone. They're not set for next zone, but for this zone, it looks like they'll actually be comfy on height. So that's pretty good for them, actually. I don't think there's a team playing waterfall bins right now. And they are in on these bins as well. So you hear the call to possibly evac, but all these buildings below them will be taken. They might be able to 3P something if teams are getting active. Just longbows and kill feed right now. But hopefully Verhulst doesn't get caught off guard here. He's going to be looking the direction of what's their faces. Native Gaming. But nothing too serious yet. No fights, no shots really. I think everybody's playing fairly passively at the moment. Sweet Dreams and LG are in a fantastic spot. The only thing not fantastic for them is blues. The later you get, the worse blues become, because the more of the teams around you are on triple purple. Like for example, we have Madness and Furia, Enemy and Disguised, TSM, Guild, and Moist, like all on purples, right? So if you're facing any of these teams, you're instantly at a 75 HP disadvantage between your team. So,
Definitely, like,
saying when it
we're
does.
stuffing,
not
like,
ideal
stand
for
on
them.
red, everyone
I like you might
definitely
just
red.
play out here.
Sweet
I'm
pretty
not
calm
bullshit.
right now.
Yeah, it's literally a
He
bad
doesn't
match.
seem
Like,
too
you can
panicked.
play local top handle,
Sweet
but
has
you
that
can
passion,
people.
so you know when Sweet's panicking, voices raised, calls are coming out crazy. So he seems pretty chill. He seems pretty happy with where they're at right now.
It's like, you can just play
Hopefully
up there at me and I'll
LG
just
can
hold
get
it,
a
like-
good game here. Maybe get some shots through those windows. And so Guild and boys at Moist still holding, but now Native Gaming is playing their roof. So we saw them on top of the hill, but now they've taken the roof above Moist. But no team looks, between the two of them, looking to get active on the other. No shooting through holes of roofs or anything like that crazy right now. They probably don't want to start too much shit because they don't want another team to come in and finish it. Madness and Furious are holding the are holding the building opposite of the boys at Moist and Native. Also look to be playing pretty passively. I think a lot of people are just waiting to see where this zone pulls. Because if you get active now, but then get caught in an awkward side of zone and forcing yourself to reset, you're now running against a timer. So no one really wants to fight right now unless they have to. And then once this zone pull is decided, you'll see people getting a lot more active. But it looks like Hambino and boys have been eliminated. They're on spectate. Didn't see what happened there. But after a good first game, second place, they're now going to have a really tough second game. Maybe a 0-point game from them. Snipe down landing shots and working back up. Native still long rotation to go and might get hit by this bang ult.
I'm safe here.
Barely going to avoid it. Keeping calm. Zone's not too strong yet. So keeping strong and nading.
2 seconds.
I think you do have to fight this team.
I don't know if this is
You have to do an awkward cross, but once you cross, third party is hard for the other teams. They're pretty far away. So nice work there. They're going to get a full reset.
Oh no.
And let's take a look at where this zone pulled. Oh, they're chilling. Actually, Native Gaming is not in a terrible spot. They don't have the most playable area, but they also don't have the least. They have a couple head glitches, decent amount of cover from multiple directions, but they did get mirrored. Now that changes a lot. Getting mirrored means that their options are much less than what they were when they could play the high ground. And now they're going to get naded out because they only have this rock to play. I don't think Native's going to survive much longer here.
I'm trying to get to cannon.
Interesting play to cannon. I guess the high ground can't quite see them at cannon. Wow, that is lucky. But high ground can swing, and that's exactly what's happening.
I have to back.
They can work head glitches up on this hill and punish them. As long as the building teams don't shoot the high ground, they should be able to punish Native. But now we have Madness and Furia fighting. Gonna hop on board with them. Oh, Madness beaming. Ooh, not a great scan, not a great scan. You know they're both in the hallway. You don't have to scan there, and you can't shoot when you're scanning. So now kind of resetting the tempo, losing it a little bit. But really nice drop down, but misses the shots. Good decision, not great execution, but now he's going to die to zone. They need to run in. He needs to heal and push in, and we're going to get fucked by an ad. That is so sad. Let's see if we can see on main broadcast. But Disguised is fighting.
Full heal on me. Full heal on me. Full heal.
And they're going to get the reset. Really good for Disguise here. This is where all the teams are dying in the chaos. You got to eat that ult and get the bat off. It doesn't matter if you take the damage while ripping a bat because you will get it back. And that guy's going to wide swing and die to
Hound
zone.
is dead inside. Hound is dead in the building.
In theory,
We're gonna have to kill them.
yeah, they really need to
We're gonna jump
drop.
through this window to the right. We're gonna jump through this
They
window.
really need to drop.
Through the window. Ready?
Okay, yes.
Let's go. Oh fuck! I missed. I'm coming up.
The door's taken.
I don't know if I like that.
I'm just
I
under.
think,
Well,
I mean, he has an arc star nading the other window and then walking through it is a lot better.
popping a medic.
He also needs to work the door a little bit.
We're gonna figure this out.
Leaving the door at full HP gives the other team a lot of options.
Nice.
But they do get a KP from the other knock
All I have is one
that
syringe.
Zenile had.
Is it open? Can I go through that, or do they have the door?
I think they have door.
They
You're
might get
opposite
punished
me,
from a
opposite
team
me.
in the
There's a team
distance
across
as well
too.
here. Really interesting to see how they'll play this. I think they needed to challenge that inside team. Because now, with their next rotation, that inside team is going to be shooting them as well as teams in the distance. And so they're going to have to fight multiple fronts.
Yeah, let me know if
They
start
really
shooting.
needed to wipe that. And I think it's still the right call to fight it.
At wall 40, at wall 40. Do we have ultimates?
But they are running low on
No,
time.
no.
This is zone
No.
5. You cannot sit in this zone. One tick is going to chunk you for like
What
25.
the fuck?
And yeah, that's about what happens. You've been playing split for so long. They have you on scan. No surprise, really, they swung.
Low key, I'm gonna
Is
die
that
to zone and give you an armor
LG
swap.
and boys?
I'm dying to zone and give you an armor swap.
It is LG and boys. Well played by them, actually, to get this reset off. Let's watch them as they come in. They have the duo below them still,
Quick.
and they're gonna reset.
Okay, get ready. We're gonna walk in. We're gonna wall our right off, Sykes. Okay, we're gonna go to like here and stabilize, and then we're probably gonna have to enter cannon afterwards. Behind you, we're getting fucking shot.
3 kills here. 3 kills on the wall, on my ping.
I bang out.
60 on blood. They're getting walled out.
Yep, I'm getting ready to bang out our close side.
LG in a decent position to win this game. This bang ult is going to be absolutely massive. Shoot through that window. They can get some KP. Those guys are sitting ducks. They also have that tree on the right they can
On
play.
the left side of the wall.
They don't have to worry too much about height yet.
Sweet smoke right.
And he's going to get... Oh, he's getting a lot of damage with bang ult.
No, I'm getting
They want the
longbow. I need to
KP.
smoke, man, I'm dead.
I'm a little confused how Funk died there. To be honest, shouldn't have been playing an angle where he could have get knocked from height. Really nice shots from Sweet. Sweet's gonna get the squad wipe.
I'm actually on the same page if you can res him.
And Sweet's gonna get some really nice shots, but he is gonna get broken in exchange. Now this is pretty dicey. He wishes he had a nade right now, but he has to play this head glitch.
Longbow kid, man.
He can't go anywhere else.
Longbow.
70 on blood.
Very unlucky. And now Funk and Sykes are gonna get ran at. This is the last team.
I mean, bro, I was just kidding. I needed a smoke on my right so I could look left, bro.
I don't know what Funk was playing.
Didn't say
I asked
anything.
for it.
Because
I asked for it.
Sweet
like
and
3
Sykes
times, bro.
both had a line of sight on the left
Yeah, no,
without
low-key,
getting
Sykes
shot for the
actually
right,
agree. I don't know if we
which
ever win
means
that
it was
game.
also
No, we probably actually
available
were fighting.
Oh,
They just had a 4x10
to Funk.
longbow, so
Now, when you're shooting 3 team members from the same angle, obviously the angle is less effective because you don't have as many options. But I mean, you're in a game-winning position there. To be honest, I think LG's position was a little better than that other team's, but getting knocked there is just worst-case scenario. So unfortunate for LG. Let's take a look. That was Native Gaming that ended up taking that win. The snipe down in the boys. Well played to them. I can't believe they actually won from that cannon. That's pretty surprising because I thought that high ground team was going to swing them. But I guess they were able to stabilize and, I mean, take enough space and lay down enough shots to where they weren't punished for taking that cannon. So really well done to them. I mean, the amount of experience on this squad is crazy. So, I mean, if there's a squad that's going to do it, it's going to be them. All being pro players for as long as the game's been out. So well done to Native Gaming for that. They're going to have 9 kills first place. Big 21 point for the game for them. 5 kills second goes to Sweet and the boys at LG. Cloud9, Naughty and the boys are going to get third with 3. 10-point game for them. Complexity, 4th, but 0 kills. And they're going to get 5 points. That's a tough game. I know Lou, and Lou is not really going to be happy with that result. He's going to be a little bit frustrated right now. Getting a 4th place, but only 5 points. I mean, look, the 4 teams who placed lower than you all have more points because they got that KP. And as we were talking about at the beginning of the stream, the thing defining the playoff teams from the other teams right now is that consistency in kills over the games. Because even the top teams, their average placement is either 7th or 8th. This is like Falcon and really high-performing teams. So what that means is what's deciding these playoff points is those kills once again. So really important. Complexity needs to start fragging a little more if they want to make those playoffs. Temper, Oblivion, NG, and L, all with decent points as well, 6, 9, and 10. So well played by them. And that brings us to the end of game 2, which keeps us... Is this still? Did standings not change? Standings did not change a little bit. So Alienware is still first because they had that crazy first game. Where did they finish last game though? 0-point game. So really strong start from Alienware, but really dropping the ball in the second game. Not going to be good for them in the long term. They're going to need to consistently put 4 good games on the board now in order to keep that number 1 spot. LG and the boys now up to second. Well played by them. Good calling by Sweet. Really decent damage as well. 2 good games from them. If they can keep that up, they're going to keep in the top 5 for the day for sure. Native Gaming with that win puts them in 21 and easy striking distance of first 2 places. And then down 7 points into 4th is Temper. So they're not really in easy striking distance. If they still have a good game and these guys have a bad game or 2, then they can definitely contest for first on the day, but it probably won't be decided by 1 game. It'll probably take a couple. So that's the wrap on game 2, and I will see you guys for game 3.